We put our children in the sports, and so do white people. But white people put their children in sports to extract the principles from it. And we put our children in sports to become a professional at it. Because they're going in there to extract principles from it. If they don't make it to the NBA or the NFL, they take the sacrifice they learned, the discipline, the hard work, the working through fatigue, the teamwork, the categorization of personal life problems and still being able to perform a task, and they take that to their law firm or their insurance agency or their dental office, and they just take discipline over there with them and become great in that. But we got our mind wrapped up 100%. If I'm going to the league, I'm going to the league, I'm going to the league, I'm going to be in the NFL, I'm going to be, and if it don't happen, now you got a brother with a broken spirit. If you became proficient in any sport, you have a greater calling on your life, and you can take that discipline that you use and all the principles from it and go into anything and be a master of it.
Facts. Speaking straight facts. One of the reasons is why I got into doing this football program a few years ago was that I wanted to instill different morals, values, and character into any individual that came out there and wanted to participate in that. And so if you look at any of the videos that I put out there, most people would look at them as just being football videos, right? What we do out there is we're helping those younger individuals to know and understand the importance of communicating, the importance of speaking loud and clear, the importance of looking someone in their eye, the importance of how important it is to be coached, taking all of that information and applying it, how to work with a team, a lot of things that we, even myself, took for granted when I was younger. I'm trying to make sure that I instilled that in anybody that I come in contact with, especially any youth that's been a part of this program. Because mind you, I not only work with youth, but I also work with some guys that come out there, and some of those guys are actually fathers. I think that, and when I look at how things have went growing up, oftentimes, especially when it comes to the youth, the young boys, they don't get that, or they don't have that. They don't have that father figure in the house. And so like a lot of us growing up, we're not used to being held accountable. We're not used to a male figure holding us accountable and telling us that's wrong. That's not the way to do things. And what I see is you have a lot of young men wearing their heart on their sleeve. At any time somebody tries to correct them, they get in their feelings. So through this football program, we have been actively shaping these young men's minds on how to deal with conflict, how to resolve those conflicts, and knowing and understanding that when I'm doing a sport, you're going to have coaches that are going to be yelling. They're going to be screaming. Not saying that they're being disrespectful, but they're telling you, hey, we got to do better. We got to improve. Because hearing that to a lot of people, they just like, they cringe, right? But telling and teaching young men that you need to be able to thrive in those type of situations and those type of environments. You need to be able to take a deep breath and understand that that coach, that person is just telling you that you can do better. You are better. What that coach or that person is telling you that you made a mistake. It's time to correct those things. And in the heat of battle, whether I'm playing basketball, football, soccer, track, UFC, wrestling, whatever it is, we don't have time to get down on ourselves, all right? We're in it. Let's figure out what corrections need to be made and let's make them. And the issue is you have a lot of those people from other races where they put their children into certain sports or whatever and they extract the life lessons and stuff from them. Again, the life lessons is you're going to go through some things. You're going to make mistakes. And yes, it is okay to cry. Yes, it is okay for you to make those mistakes. But you need to also realize that we're going to have to wipe away those tears. They need to also understand that, yes, we made a mistake. But now it's time to wipe away those tears and start to make these corrections so that we can get through whatever it is that we're trying to get through.
How many hours a week do you work? 40. How many hours a week do you work?
40.
Okay. How many hours a week do you work?
Like work in here?
Yeah, work. No, work. Your job.
My job? 9-10 hour days. 2 in the morning till about 12 in the afternoon.
Wow. So over 40 hours.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
I'm just checking.
Oh
All
yeah.
right.
Oh,
Thanks.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Appreciate it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. How many hours a week you work?
Work.
Yeah, work.
Job.
Yeah, your job.
50
50. But you're in here.
every day. 5 days a week.
Wow. Okay. How many hours a week you work?
60, 70.
All right. Thank you.
So,
How many hours a week you work at your job?
40.
40. Okay. And you're in here.
Oh, for sure.
Okay. Just checking.
Without a doubt.
All right,
Without
baby.
a doubt. Be like you, baby.
How many sets you gonna do?
All of them.
How many reps?
All of them.
How many hours a week you work? 50. And you got time for the gym? Oh, all right. See you, man.
Shout out to this guy. I actually ended up reacting to this video and put it on my TikTok. He actually liked and commented up under. So shout out to him. This is just a reminder to everybody out there that always love to make excuses and say that they don't have enough time to do it. You got guys out there working 60 and 70 hours. And you look like he was older. 60 and 70 hours, young, old, it don't matter what their age is, working 40 plus hours and still find time to get their butts in the gym. We got to stop making excuses. Even if you don't get your butt to the gym, you can walk around your neighborhood, you can walk around the mall, you can walk around your house, you can do some form of exercise. And at the end of the day, we just got to stop making excuses and start doing things that's going to benefit us in the long run. And that's exercising, that's walking, that's jogging, that's running, that's eating better, eating healthy, and start to make sure that we're pushing this on other people around us. And yes, I said pushing this on other people around us. If you really love someone or you really rock with someone, then you want to bring them in to go walking, to go jogging, to go running with you, to exercise with you so that they can possibly live longer.
So women can tell I'm not getting no play?
462 people in the chat room could tell you ain't getting no play. That's the energy you're getting because you're a guy that said you don't think you should have to approach women. They should give you choosing signals. Where would you rank yourself on a scale from 1 to 10? How tall are you?
I'm 5'10".
5'10". How much do you weigh? Uh-oh.
I weigh about,
To what?
depending on the day, between 280 285.
So you're a fat fucker.
Yeah.
So you think a 5'10", almost 300-pound dude, how much money you make?
Like 482 weeks.
So you make 400 every 2 weeks. So you make 800 a month. You make less than $10,000 a year. Okay.
But how many 20-year-olds was him?
Hold on. Dude, I was a 20-year-old and I was making far more money than that. In the 80s, where minimum wage was $3.35 an hour. So I need to hear it. You got a big dick?
I mean, it's above average. I ain't know Ron Jeremy.
No. I asked you if you had a big dick. I didn't say it was above average.
I don't know what that is, really.
Nigga, you know if you got a big dick or not. Stop the bullshit. Every dude know whether or not he got a big dick. I know I got a big dick. You don't know?
I mean,
You don't have a big dick. That's the point. You don't have a big dick. You don't have a big wallet. You're a fat dude. And you got a lot of nerve thinking you should get choosing signals at 5'10" and 300 pounds, making less than $1,000 a month at 20 years old. And women should approach you. What they get, they don't even get a big dick.
I speak about this often, man, about, not allowing certain things to trigger certain people or whatever, right? I think that Kev already knew that he was going to clip up this video and that it was going to do numbers. And again, I definitely don't rock with asking anybody about they D size or whatever. I don't know what the heck that was about, but I guess it was just for like comedy or whatever. But again, if you look at everything else that he was saying, all right, you're 5'10", you're almost 300 pounds, almost 300. Now, if you really go and look, because, I think that context is definitely important and people can take certain clips and it can, kind of be out of context. But if you actually go and you listen to the entire video, and Kevin actually mentioned it in the clip, this guy believed that women should be giving him choosing signals about wanting to be approached. Why in the world would a woman want to give choosing signals to a guy that's 5'10", almost 300 pounds? And I'm not saying that you don't have women out there that wouldn't be interested in these type of guys, but there's a sense of entitlement there for you to even say something like that. I feel like women should be giving me choosing signals. At 5'10", almost 300 pounds, you're not in the gym, you're not working out. Like, come on, fam. Like, and I don't know what this guy looked like. I don't know if Kev brought him up on screen so you can actually see his face. But the easiest way for people to tell if you really care about yourself is to look at your frame, honestly. And I'm just saying, in the first 7 seconds of meeting someone, people make about, I think it's 11 different assumptions about you. You know, it's about 11 different things. I believe you can go and check it up just to make sure, fact check me or whatever. You drop it down in the comments. If I'm wrong, you know, I'm always open to the possibility of me being wrong, and I'm always open to people, you know, maybe correcting to help out everybody else. But within the first 7 seconds, people are looking at you and they're judging you. And if you're looking at somebody that's 5'10", almost 300 pounds, one of the very first things that's gonna pop up in my mind is low self-esteem. This person don't really care about themselves, because if they did, then they would at least try to make sure that they take care of themselves physically, right? And then you look at your job, right? What does this guy say? He was making $400 every 2 weeks, $800 a month. And he was saying, like, at age 20, like, listen, fam, when I was in high school, I had a freaking job at a retail store where, I don't know, I knew right before I went to college, I was raking it in. I'm talking about, I was working more than some of my supervisors, some of my managers before I went to college. I'm talking about was running it up. And during the football season, before I got out of high school, you know, I was working pretty much every chance I get. Now, I was a full-time athlete. You know, I played football, ran track, and, you know, I played a little bit of basketball. It was church league, but it was still basketball. But yeah, I was pretty much playing sports year round, and I still maintained, and I still had that job. Weekends, I'm getting it in. You know, even though we had a game Friday nights, I had track meets during the week, on the weekend, like stuff like that. But I was still finding time to work. And I'm pretty sure I was making, especially during the summer, like out of school, I know I was making way more than $400 every 2 weeks. I actually still got my check stubs. I can actually go and pull that mug up and see how much I was making. But long story short, man, what Kevin is basically trying to get people to understand is you should be actively working on yourself. You should be trying to improve. You should not have that mentality where you think or you feel entitled, where people should be giving you choosing signals if you're not working on yourself. And I think one of the issues that I have with people, and I'm speaking in general, is a lot of people oftentimes try to make it seem like Kevin, his brand or whatever, was built on putting certain people down, whether it was certain races or certain genders. He gave the smoke across the board to everybody. He didn't give a damn who you were. At the end of the day, he's an image consultant. So he's going to ask you about your image, and he's going to give you, hopefully, some insight on how to improve that thing. Like, first of all, I need to bring you to the front of the congregation. I need for you to realize that, yo, ain't nobody going to be giving you choosing signals looking like this. What you need to be doing is you need to be working on yourself. Physically, mentally, emotionally, definitely financially. And then maybe after you start to do the work, the person or the people that you're trying to attract, they're going to align. They're going to see that you put in that work, and they'll start to come, they'll start to approach. Trust and believe, it does happen. But bottom line is, I think that he gave the smoke across the board. He was respectful to everybody that came onto his platform. Hello, how are you? I'm Kevin Samuels. What do you got for me today? He approached, I'm probably every single last video that I've watched, and I'm talking about show from start to finish, he pretty much, well, he not pretty much, but he respected everybody that came onto his platform. Were there some times where he kind of reflected the energy that he was given? Absolutely. And I think that, I mean, you should. Ain't no way in the world you're going to come onto my platform and think that you're going to be disrespectful, and I ain't going to get my rocks off, knowing that this clip is going to go viral and we're going to make a lot of money off of it. And hopefully some life lessons as well to other people seeing this. But I want to hear from y'all, man. What do you guys think about this particular video, man? Also, how did you guys discover Kevin Samuels? Was it from a clip? And what were your thoughts? This was actually one of the very first times that I seen Kevin Samuels content. And I ain't gonna lie, one of those last questions about the situation down low kind of, had me like, yeah, nah, I'm good on that. I don't want to consume no more of that content. But as I started to hear a little bit more or whatever, I started to gravitate more towards it. But I want to hear from y'all. Y'all let me know, what do you guys think in the comments below? All right, until the next time, y'all be blessed, y'all be beautiful, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.
Blueberry, Burberry, button-up, tan skin, mixed race, buttercup, Canada weather, got a bundle up. I'm tryna work, she hit my phone, she wanna, whoa.